All in Sports Network. We love sports.
Home to the cradle of basketball, the rise of football, and the greatest spectacle in racing. This is All Indiana Sports presented by the Unstable Blues.
Welcome back in. Well, Thunder came out thundering, as you might expect, after giving up Game 1. No, it is safe with the Pacers, but this one was a bit different. What went wrong, and how can the Pacers correct it in Game 3 as the series shifts over to Indiana? Let's discuss as we go all over.
That's correct. I'm Kevin. This is my son Liam. We are the Unstable Blues. Happy to present All Indiana Sports as part of the All In Sports and Rogue Media Sports Networks.
Yeah, it was a disappointing loss. A lot of things that could have gone other ways, but I mean, the main thing, in my opinion, was the field goal percentage.
Yeah.
It was really tough because the Pacers were finding good looks, all the stuff they were getting offensive boards. They were doing pretty much everything correct.
Yep.
But the shots were just not falling at all.
Right.
Not or at least how we're used to as Pacers fans. Right. Very efficient basketball.
Right.
So.
Like a field goal percentage, a good field goal percentage for the Pacers is up well over 50, approaching 60 for regular field goal percentage.
Yep.
Free throws also a struggle, have kind of been off and on, but 73% free throw percentage, 19 of 26.
And
it's not to say that is
the big
huge...
guys were better than free throws. It was the guards missing their free throws.
Still getting to the free throw line, 26 free throw shots, still getting to the line plenty, but not what you want to see out of that team.
Yeah.
And then the 3-pointers as well.
Yeah. Not much of a difference on any of these aspects. Just free throws really killed them. Giving up a lot of fouls.
Yeah.
Obviously, though, we always talk as Pacers fans, there's a lot of questionable calls. There was a lot of questionable calls on both ends of the floor, not just for the Thunder.
Yep.
Nembhard, I feel like, was pretty lazy on defense this game. Yes, you have SGA.
They rotated more on Shea.
I don't think they should have done that.
But he scored less in this game, but then the role players got involved.
Exactly, and that's exactly what I was talking about. You don't let the role players get involved. Let Shea do whatever he wants to. Have Nembhard on him still. Just try and limit it.
Yeah.
But I was expecting, you're down by 18 going in a half, but there's second half adjustments, and it looked like there were none.
Yeah.
It looked like, to me, it just looked like they were not good enough adjustments. And Halliburton only showed up in the fourth quarter, apparently. He had, 5 points before?
Speaking of which.
5 points, and something like that, something small like that in the first 3 quarters, and then has the rest of his points.
12 points.
In the fourth quarter. Not what you want, not helping this superstar showcase. Yes, everybody has bad games, but it seems like he takes a lot of games off rather than having bad games. He turned the ball over so much.
Yeah.
Yes, there weren't as many turnovers for the Pacers this game, but it feels like the turnovers in the other game were more manageable because, not only was Nembhard's defense lazy, there was so much lazy defense for the Pacers. They were going back to last year where they – and, yes, their offense is pretty much the same as last year, but as we saw last year, it's not going to cut it whenever it comes down to it.
Yep.
You have to play defense, and the Pacers did not play defense tonight. The Thunder shot better tonight than they did last time, and that's partially because of defense. You let Chet get going early on, and as soon as I saw that, I was like, this is going to be hard.
Yep.
J-Dub wasn't doing anything, but then he started doing stuff. I was like, okay, yeah, we're sunk. Their big three are doing stuff, and we aren't.
Yeah. Halliburton has to come out with more urgency. He has to look to shoot just as much as pass from the drop, from the get-go. You can't wait till the fourth quarter when the game is on the line and you're already 2-4 gone to get it going. Credit to your mother. She's been saying this for a while. all the late game heroics are great, but can we not? Can we get out and start doing a little bit earlier?
Yep.
And, we know this. You mentioned it. As Pacers fans, Halliburton will have a great game, and then he'll have an off game. That can't happen. If you want all of this talk of to be, shoot from overrated to superstar, you have to be able to do it consistently, night in and night out. It doesn't mean you have to be a top point scorer like SGA, but it means that you need to be consistent. And that means consistent not only game to game, but throughout the entire game.
And even if, whenever he does have off games, this was a really bad game for him. Yes, he scored 17 points, and that's great. 6 assists, that's great. I think he had 6 turnovers, though.
Yeah.
And his assist to turnover ratio has been 5 throughout the whole season.
Yeah.
In this game, it was 1. And
Yeah.
that's not where you want it to be. So it was a really bad game. And 12 of his points were scored essentially in junk time.
Yep.
There was nothing you could have. Yes, you could have come back.
Yeah.
But the rest of your team was where are you?
Yeah.
This, you choosing to do this now? Come on.
Yeah.
I need other people in the team to get after Halliburton, to step up earlier in the game. I get late, heroics and all that. We like to see that. But if you start well, it doesn't have to come to that point. So you don't need, start well so that heroics don't have to happen.
Yeah. With all that said, the Pacers still had good balance. Still 7 players in double figures. That would be everyone from McConnell with 11 to all of the starters plus Mathurin.
Yep.
All in double figures. And Halliburton, the troubling part, I think, here is Halliburton's still the top scorer with 17. Siakam only with 15 when he's been averaging more than that. Turner came up bigger than he has been, but he had 3 missed threes in a row to start off the game.
He
certainly contributed to that.
He made a three this game.
He did. It was a little bit later. After he missed the third one, I saw Tyrese go over and do his classic leadership thing, give him a high five. I'm sure he said something like, "Hey, just keep shooting, it'll drop." And he made the next one.
Yeah, but still, that result, Turner was having an off night for 3, which also resulted in Thunder playing defense different. They're like, okay, he's having an off night. We don't have to guard that as heavily.
Yep.
Just kind of contest it, and he's gonna miss. So it was just an off night from everybody on.
Also saw the Thunder play their first lineup with 2 bigs. Didn't start off with it, but
they kind of caught us in a rotation having Siakam and Obi out there, so we didn't have a true big man. No, it wasn't. No, it was Bryant and Toppin. So definitely not the people you want out there.
Yeah.
But whenever they try to do it next time, they brought Siakam in to kind of help deal with that, and that helped a lot. Siakam, he didn't score as many points as normal, which is a little troubling. Once again, things just weren't following. But his defense presence was there. So both bigs played really, really well tonight.
So before we get into our normal wrap up here of the game, I want to do a little forecast. What do the Pacers need to do differently in Game 3 to prevent the same kind of thing? Not that it would be at this level, hopefully at home, but Game 3s have been an issue for the Pacers in this playoff specifically, but they've never been in this position. They've always been up 2-0. Right. So what do the Pacers need to do specifically to make sure this kind of thing doesn't happen again?
Just kind of the points that I've hit on the whole episode. Defense needs to be better.
Halliburton
needs to be there.
Yep.
And I need the bigs to play with the same intensity they played with tonight on defense that they did then. There's a lot just defense. But the shots didn't fall tonight. They'll fall. next time. They'll fall eventually. So you just got to get it to a point where you're getting clean, good looks, and still you're turning over the ball a lot. So try not to turn the ball over as much.
Protect the ball. Take the ball.
Yeah.
It sounds familiar from our Colts episodes, but there you go. So defense, I would say the same thing. Defense, the shots will fall. The flow of the game is going to happen, but that dictates, like it did in the first game, it starts on the defensive end, which is what the Thunder are known for. So you got to give them a taste of their own medicine. With that said, wrap up this game. What is your game-changing moment of the game? You can't say the opening tip-off. That's unfair.
I'm not sure exactly. I'm gonna go with a one that we don't normally do.
Okay.
Not something from this game.
Oh.
I think it was last game. The camera panned at the end of the game to Shea, and normally after those types of things where they lose or something like that, Shea's all smiles and stuff. He wasn't smiles, so I think that was kind of like his wake up call. Like, hey, we need to get this done. So not even from this game. So
I told you couldn't go opening tip off, and you went
that,
even way before that, days earlier.
My favorite part of the game though was Turner putting the poster on. I don't remember who it was.
Oh, like
he came down. I was like, "What's he doing?" I was like, "Oh, okay."
Kerchunk.
Cool.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part of the game, though.
Yeah, that was a good one. I'm gonna say the game changing moment was there was a rotation kick out to Aaron Wiggins, and he was left wide open off of the rotation and things, kind of just left of the top of the key and buried it. To me, that was kind of the backbreaker. I'd still say it was close up until there was a wild moment where there was some back and forth. It was about 5-ish minutes left in the game, where you kind of felt like if the Pacers could just get a little momentum in something, of those last game, late game heroics could happen, but they missed it. And at that point, you kind of felt the whole thing. The whole crowd was like, yeah, okay, we got this. And they kind of shifted at that moment. So, so that's my game-changing moment. Who is your player of the game then?
There are so many people that you could say. Obviously, I'm going to go with Thunder player just because Thunder won. I'll give a player for the Pacers because normally that's how I do it. But I'm going to say Chet was the player of the game because he was not a factor last game, and he was this game, and they came out swinging. Player for the Pacers, in my opinion, was Turner. I think he was, like, surprisingly, so far, he's the only guy in this series specifically that's been consistent, and he's been the inconsistent factor.
Right.
You were talking to me about him before the game, and
working for that contract.
I was like, why? But he's proven to me why he should be. Yes, he had a couple of missed threes, but like I said, very intense on the defensive end. Even if someone is scoring on him, he's still there getting it on the next play. He was towards that third quarter, that normal third quarter stretch that he has. He had his normal third quarter stretch. So,
yeah, I am going to give it to Aaron Wiggins, coming off the bench. Big time moments. It wasn't just the 18 points that he had. It was when they happened that, as I mentioned in my moment of the game, but there were many threes that he had where they would kill momentum for the Pacers. So to me, he's it. Other than that, a little shout out to McConnell. Just anytime he's in there, he brings the energy. So that, you got to love that. There's part of me that wishes he could or thinks he should be in there more because of that energy. I understand rotations. I get it. I understand he's a small player and, but that just the the level of intensity that he raises everyone to when he's in there is beneficial. And, maybe it's not a bad idea to have a small lineup that's very intense defensively. Obviously, if you can still have a rebounding presence, whether it be Siakam and Obi, but then going, Nesmith and McConnell and Nembhard. I know that's not a normal rotation, but to infuse some defensive prowess and intensity and priority, just a thought there. But I'm not the coach. Rick Carlisle is the legend, so hopefully we figure it out. With your mom talking about the Fever dominating the Sky without Caitlin Clark and the third of 4 meetings between the Fever and Atlanta Dream. Will Brittany Griner have anything else to say about Clark? Will Clark even be back on the floor? Then we will be back on Wednesday as the finals shift to Indianapolis for the all-important Game 3.
Yep, this is Liam.
And this is Kevin.
Reminding you to stay all Indiana.
All in Sports Network. We love sports.